Welcome to Myth Revealed. Look at this skull. Horns, teeth, fierce shape. Looks like a dragon skull, right? Ancient people thought so too. They dug up bones like this and called them dragons. But what if dragons weren't fantasy? What if they were ancient people trying to explain real fossils? This one's actually called Dracorex hogwartsia, which means Dragon King of Hogwarts. Paleontologists named it in 2006 as a tribute to the Harry Potter series. Some paleontologists now think it may actually be a juvenile form of Pachycephalosaurus. The word dinosaur didn't exist until 1842. British scientist Richard Owen coined it from Greek. Dinos meaning terrible, and the word sorrows meaning lizard. Before that, there was no scientific name for these giant reptiles. So when people found bones like this, they used the word they already had for the biggest, scariest reptiles they could imagine: dragons. Even in the 1500s, dragons weren't dismissed as pure myth. Conrad Gessner, in his massive animal encyclopedia, listed dragons under the category of serpents, alongside real snakes and reptiles, and said they had been widely reported in history, but were now rare in his time. Why rare and not extinct? The concept of extinction, as we know it, didn't exist yet. That came much later. In the late 1700s and early 1800s, with scientists like George S. Cuvier, huge parts of the world were still unexplored. Africa, Asia, the Americas were only partially mapped. So people reasoned, if dragons were common in ancient times, maybe they're just hiding in remote jungles, mountains, or oceans. The word rare bridged the gap. People thought, we have their bones, so they existed. We just don't see them alive anymore because they're scarce now. It was the last gasp of belief before science fully separated myth from reality. Some dragons may have been inspired by encounters with real reptiles, exotic and threatening animals, that reached southern Europe through trade, travel, or Roman arenas. Nile crocodiles can grow up to 20 feet long, with thick armored scales and powerful jaws that crush bones. To ancient Greeks, Romans, and later Europeans, these creatures looked like land-dwelling dragons, massive, scaly, deadly. Crocodiles are especially interesting. They can live for decades, sometimes nearly a century, and continue growing slowly throughout their lives. To people in ancient times, a single crocodile could outlive generations, making it easy to imagine dragons as long-lived, enduring creatures. While some dragons may have been inspired by crocodiles, others drew from the shape of giant serpents. Fossils of enormous snakes, like Titanoboa, found in South America, show that truly massive serpents once existed. The kind of creatures that could inspire myths like Jörmungandr, the Midgard serpent of Norse legend. Early dragon descriptions often emphasized long, coiling, serpentine bodies, different from the stout, armored form of a crocodile. These stories captured human fascination with creatures that were powerful, mysterious, and impossible to ignore. In fact, across cultures, dragons were frequently depicted as serpents, long, twisting, and deadly, showing that the idea of a giant, serpent-like dragon was almost universal. Winged dragons didn't appear in all early myths. Wings came later, mainly in European art, shaped by cultural and symbolic factors. Bats were linked to darkness and demons in medieval Europe. So artists gave dragons bat-like wings to make them look more evil and otherworldly. Some biblical references, like Isaiah 14:29, which mentions a flying serpent, also describe dragons with wings, reinforcing the idea of dragons as flying, otherworldly creatures. From fossil bones to massive crocodiles, and even biblical flying serpents, dragons in our stories were inspired by the real world around us, but shaped by imagination. If you enjoyed uncovering the history behind dragons, like and subscribe for more myths revealed.